What's up, everybody? It's Anand, and I'm just outside the gym today. And to be honest, I really didn't feel like going to the gym today. I didn't even get enough sleep tonight. I've barely eaten any food today. So it was like a combination of factors. I was so stressed out. But you know what? I still made it to the gym. And part of this has to do with the fact that I've built this habit up over time, and that because of my habits, now if I don't go to the gym, it kind of feels bad, or I don't feel good if I don't go to the gym. But you might not be in this situation, and I get this question all the time: what can I do? I don't really feel like going to the gym today. So today I'm gonna give you 3 tips on what you can do. And these 3 tips have actually worked really well with all of my coaching clients, and I know that they'll work for you as well. So the first tip I have is you need to get rid of anything that is like an inconvenience that's going to prevent you from going to the gym. And for me, what I found is I always go to the gym directly after work, and ideally you should find a gym that is very close to your work, or at least very close to your home, because you want to get rid of anything that's going to make things inconvenient for you, or you have to go out of way just to work out. So for in my situation, I used to commute an hour each way for work, but then always used to go to the gym after work, and this way I could also avoid a lot of traffic. So that's one option that you need to keep in mind. So remove anything such as distance, or if it's going to take you a long time to get to the gym, try to find a gym that is close to your house or close to your work. The other thing is, I never go home directly. I always stop by the gym, because I know that if I'm gonna go home to change or whatever, then I'm not gonna make it to the gym. Even though you might think that I'm a dedicated person, but it's just psychology, right? It's just that extra resistance that comes into it. And which brings me to my next point. The reason why you don't feel like going to the gym is actually called resistance. And I'm not talking about the resistance in the gym. What we train in the gym is called resistance training, but this is a different kind of resistance, where it's that first step that you need to take that's the hardest. And if you want to read a really good book on this, it's called The War of Art of Steven Pressfield. And this book talks about how to overcome that inner resistance. No one's physically stopping you from going to the gym. It's your internal resistance that is stopping you, and it's stopping you from taking that first step. So this brings me to my second point, is that just take the first step, because the first step, I guarantee you, is going to be the hardest. So the first step for most people is to just get ready for the gym. So what I encourage you to do is just put on your gym clothes or gym shoes. And once you do this, you're automatically gonna find that you're gonna be encouraged to take the next step. And at the same time, once you put on your gym clothes or gym shoes, it's gonna be an inconvenience for you to remove those clothes and dress back into your normal clothes or whatever you do. So it's you're using that inconvenience in your favor this time. So that's another thing to do. Just take the first step. So once you put on your gym clothes and gym shoes, the next step for you might be to get into your car, and this is going to become easier. Then once you get into your car, you're going to drive to the gym. So that's going to be the third step, but it gets easier and easier. So once you get started, that momentum builds up, and it's easier to get into the motion. The third thing I have for you is that just get to the gym physically, because oftentimes what happens is, once you get into that environment where other people are working out, it also gives their energy, feeds off. You can feed off their energy. And this has been my case as well, where there's been so many situations where I didn't really feel like working out, and I thought, I have to do this heavy workout today. But what ended up happening was, I actually ended up setting PRs in the gym, or personal records. And if I would have just listened to my inner voice, and I was like, I don't feel like going, I'll go tomorrow or something, then I would have missed out on some great workouts and some great PRs. So that was my third point. And I have a bonus point for you, and that is, Many people I've found, including myself, that it's often easier to be accountable to other people than to be accountable to yourself. And for this reason, people hire coaches. It's not that they don't know that they have to work out, or they don't even necessarily know anything about working out, but just being accountable to someone else really encourages you to actually work out. So for me right now, I'm prepping for a powerlifting competition. So the competition by itself is keeping me accountable, because there's a date that I'm looking forward to, that I have to be at my best performance at this meet, because I want to win a medal. So I'm like 5 weeks out from my competition, so that really pushes me in terms of not missing workouts, making sure I get all my meals in, making sure I hit my macros, making sure I get enough sleep. So the meet itself keeps me motivated and accountable. But I also have a powerlifting coach. So my coach Sean has written out a program for me for the entire week, and I have to follow it, because if I go off the program, then that's going to affect my progress. Then I have to get back to my coach, and I'll be like, oh, I didn't feel like going to the gym today. So it doesn't really work out, right? So even though I'm a coach myself, I coach a lot of people, and they deal with a lot of these things. I myself also hire a coach, because my coach keeps me accountable. So I'm a big believer in coaching as well. But most importantly, even the 3 to 4 tips that I gave you, even if these tips don't work for you, then that simply means two things. One, you don't want your goals bad enough. You're just saying that you want to lose weight, you want to build muscle, or whatever your goal is, but in reality, you don't want it bad enough. And if you don't know about my story, I used to be morbidly obese, weighing almost 300 pounds at one point. So for me to lose over 125, 130 pounds, it took a lot of work. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't really feel like going into a gym for most of my workouts, but I still did it anyway. In fact, for the most part, when I lost my first 100 pounds, I went to the gym twice a day, every single day. And let me tell you this, working out while in a severe caloric deficit is not fun, especially when you're doing a lot of cardio and then you're also going in and lifting weights. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of stress on the body, and everything feels so hard. You feel so lethargic throughout the day, not just the gym. But you know what, I had this goal, I really wanted to do it, and I did it. So it doesn't really matter how you feel, as long as your goal is important to you, then you're gonna find a way to do it. Otherwise, you're just gonna make excuses. And the other thing that might be wrong with you is that you aren't setting the correct goals. You might be setting goals that are really large, and that is actually making you procrastinate on them, because you feel like you won't be able to do it. For if I was to give you my example, my goal was to lose over 100 pounds. But if I focused on the 100 pounds, then I probably would not have done it, because it can be very overwhelming. But I broke down my goal into smaller goals. So I said, I want to lose 100 pounds, and I'm going to give myself 1 year. So that breaks down to 2 pounds a week, which is much more doable. So I just focused on my 2 pounds a week. So whatever I needed to do to lose my 2 pounds, I just did it. So if you feel that's your case, then break down your goal into smaller goals, and that's definitely going to help you and keep you motivated. So anyway, I hope this was informative. You can either have results or you can have excuses, but you can't have both. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below, and stay strong.